and then could make a living from it.
Good evening and welcome to JaRIA's third staging of the Reggae Open University, ROU. And today we have a wonderful panel with us and we are discussing artist development and we're looking at the blueprint. I have four very wonderful, knowledgeable and talented persons on the panel with us, so we're going to get right into business. We're going to be speaking about exactly what artist management means on both sides of the table, both from the artist and the management perspective, the marketing, everything to do with a brand as a person, we're going to be discussing tonight. And with us we have our wonderful, wonderful friend of JaRIA, Miss April McIntosh. Good afternoon. Now let me tell you a little bit about Madam April. April Zara McIntosh Smith, owner and CEO of Niche Entertainment Group Limited, or NEGL, creatively exceeds expectations on a daily basis, managing, supporting, and representing creatives in the Jamaican economy and entertainment infrastructure, such as musicians, artists, MCs, artist producers, engineers, poets, etc. It's in our best interest to ensure that our consumers and our art is protected and clearly defined, and she aims to represent any creatives as an enforcement of their rights while assisting them to determine what is feasible and rightful for them. Before launching NEGL in 2013, McIntosh already had quite the experience in the industry and several successful events under her belt, such as Sumfest in 2009 and 10 and 12, Jazz and Blues 2009 and 2010, and a production house DSE Media from 2012 to 2013, Towers Rally and Friends held at Emancipation Park in 2012 through to 2014, and Rebel Salute in 2012 and 2014. Very impressive, April. Afternoon and welcome.
Thank you.
To my immediate left, we have the wonderful and talented Miss Bella Blair. How are you?
I'm good.
Now, hello, my name is, that's your opening salvo.
Yes.
What's that about?
Hello, my name is. It's very simple, and I feel like simplicity often gets the message across. It's self-explanatory. What's my name? Bella Blair.
Well, Blair was always destined for the limelight and started on the path to celebrity from she was 4 years old.
4.
A graduate of the University of the West Indies with a degree in media and communications, she has become a huge sensation with over 3 million viewers tuning in to her very entertaining spirit. She's created a more expansive and diverse image of Jamaica, as well as paving a way for new female talent to reach their dreams. Welcome, Bella.
Thank you.
All right. To Bella's left, we have Mr. Frankie Music.
Yes, sir.
Why Frankie Music? Yes, we know your first name is Frank. What?
Oh, no, my name is not Frankie.
What made you come up with that? What's the first thing that Frankie Music? Not
Frankie
your name.
was a name that given from friends.
Okay.
And then, you know, music is what I love. So let's work together.
Frankie Music. Well, his real name is Kumar Campbell,
Yeah.
a Jamaican producer, creative director of Frankie Music Production Limited. Now, within the last 2 decades and counting, he's built what most would refer as to foundation. To date, Frankie has one artist signed to his label, Sean Antoine, and I'm sure there are more already that you can or cannot tell us about Frankie. And what else can tell us about?
That is a long
That's a long story.
that is a long bio, a long time bio.
Long
but,
time,
you know,
Well, I know that in 2006, you established Frank Entertainment. Company underwent a name change in 2012, which is now Frankie Music Productions. And you are the musical creative side of Kumar Frankie Campbell. Tell us more about Kumar.
that's a humble youth, man. Just like music and like work.
You have that hustler mentality, or you like that grind?
I like to work. I don't like the word hustle. I like to work. I like to achieve nice things. So,
And since you started in what year?
in production,
Yes.
I started out first as a promoter, keeping events.
I've been to a few.
Yeah,
I've been to a few.
and then after that, I move up. My mentor is Bobby Digital, so I see all the stars and see everything that happened in the studio. So after that, I venture into production.
What's the biggest lesson you've learned since you started to this day?
Every day we learn a lesson. You know, I know it's really, yo, It come with everything.
Everything?
Yeah, man.
So flexibility.
Yeah,
All right, thank you very much, Mr. Kowakam. Frankie Music, as we're going to call him.
no problem.
And last, to the immediate left, we have Lex MD. Alex Lex MD Anderson was born and raised in Portmore. He grew up surrounded by musical creations of local and international artists, but found most of his inspiration from the late Bob Marley. True?
True.
All right. Lex creates music in alignment with a music-based version of the Hippocratic Oath he refers to as the music oath. How did that come about?
Well, it just came about because I wanted to do something that heals the world, but what I do is music. And, you know, in conversations, LXMD, musical doctor, not medical doctor. And the medical doctor's oath is to help and to serve and to do no harm. And I saw that, you know, if my music can do the same, why not create my own music oath?
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. You launched your journey in September 2020, and you transformed your passion into action. Lex debuted his first song, Humanity, in 2020, and his second in 2022 called Modern Day Slavery. What prompted that?
Work.
That title.
Work. I found that the industry within which I was employed at the time felt very modern day slavery.
Modern Day Slavery.
So I gave it that title and I wrote the song along that line.
All right. Thank you very much, Lex MD. Thank you very much, panel. We're going to jump right into business. Now, as far as artist development, I'll start with Bella. From an artist perspective, what does that term mean to you? What do you conjure up when you hear artist development?
Well, I think it's quite self-explanatory. Artist meaning artistry, being an entertainer or whatever it is, and development, just like our child grows and develops through different stages of their lives. You have artists who start and they're not at the same place, or there's growth throughout their career. For growth to happen, you have to have artist development. You know what I mean? So you have to work on certain skill sets, and that's not only the artistry, that's how to conduct yourself in an interview, that's how to handle yourself on the road, that's how to, you just see posture, you know, as an artist, needs to be developed. It's not gonna just magically happen.
Okay.
So.
And from a promoter standpoint, Frankie, what does the term mean?
As an artist manager, what I try to do, artist choose you to manage them. So you look at the weakness of the artist, and sometimes it's not the art, like the performance need develop. It's everything that affects
Around it.
that.
Okay.
So that is when the development of them gonna always needed, from whatever thing need to put in
So it's
place.
a constant
how
state.
to earn, how to relate to people. And as Bella Blair said, a simple thing that they take for granted, you sometimes have to tell them the reason why they need to do it. So
Good point.
it needed.
April?
Artist development for me is very intimate an experience. I believe that it is the foundation of every artist, and it should be the foundation of every artist at least. In my experience, I've found that I've met artists at different points in their careers, and even those that are really established, or what the public would see as really established individuals, they either lack knowledge, they lack experience, they lack, Bella mentioned, posture, knowing how to have an interview, how to answer questions. Even performance, you notice that they have really good songs that catch, but when you put them on a live stage, you can't match the performance with what you feel. You know what I mean? So it's a well-rounded experience, and it's educational in a sense, but it's also very practical in our industry. I'm very heavy, as you would know, on the movement of artist development in our industry, for sure.
Thank you very much. Lex, before you started, just that passion alone that was clearly there, did artist development even register in your brain when you were getting yourself into the realization that I want to be an artist?
The words in and of themselves weren't artist development. It was more of, this is gonna be a journey. You know, what will this journey look like? What will the stages of becoming the artist that you really see yourself as? You know, what's that gonna feel like? but artist development as a process didn't just jump to the fore. It's something that had to be introduced to me.
And when it was introduced to you, how much did it shift what you were having in your head before until that very moment when we realized how important artist management is? What kind of shift was that?
It was, this is going to take some work. And this is not just going to be you alone on this journey. You need a team. You need elders. You need individuals of experience, the knowledge, to provide it to you and guide you along this journey that you're about to embark on, which is the artist development, practically.
I like what simple answer from each of you. Do you believe that there are too many artists who might think that they can do it by themselves, by some, and maybe they've seen something with another artist and say, yeah man, I'm my own team. Can you crack that shell with an artist?
I think the artists who think that way, they never reach really far, because you need a team. You can't just do it by yourself. You need a team. Even if it's a small team, you need a team. And when you look at an artist, oh, you said the answer is to be short, right?
Go ahead, please go ahead, please go ahead.
When you look at an artist and you see the end product, the final product, there's a lot that goes behind that. There's styling, there's your PR people, there's marketing, there's bookings, videography. It's a whole thing that's going on behind the scenes that people don't get to see. You know, so it's any artist who feel like they can do it by themselves. I've got news for you, it's not gonna work.
Frankie?
Well, my 2 cents state, anybody feel like they can do it by themselves, try. And when you try it and see that you cannot do it by yourself, you probably accept the people who can help you more.
Maybe they need to experience it themselves before they realize.
Yeah.
April?
It's not a one-man show.
Never a one-man show.
I don't know of anything in life itself that does not require assistance or help in any way, shape, or form. I believe that accepting help is what is important. And if someone cannot accept help for their own growth, then that is a mental block or a mind block that they may or may not, you know. I think we need to stop limiting ourselves as individuals and as creatives, and we need to allow ourselves to expand on a wider scale, not just by partnering with people who can help us to do that, but mentally just envisioning a brighter stage.
All right. We're going to take a break, and when I come back, we're going to start with Lex. Welcome. This is Reggae Open University, JaRIA's 3rd staging, Artist Development, a Blueprint. We'll be back.
Baby, let me give you all this loving, yeah. Oh, please don't break my heart, 'cause I know my mind will go crazy. Oh, baby, what have you done to me? Ooh, come give me some good love and let me love you all night, yes. Let's make love on the floor. Love you all night, yes. Let's make love on the floor tonight. Ooh, girl, I'm tempted to touch you all over your body. I'm gonna hold you and make you feel my tender touch. Oh, my love is not a game, girl. Ooh, girl, I'm not here to play. Oh, love you all night, yes. Let's make love on the floor tonight. You know it. Let me love you all night. Let's make love on the floor tonight.
And welcome back. This is JaRIA's Reggae Open University. We're speaking about artist development, a blueprint, and we have a wonderful panel here. Frankie, you have names under your belt that are quite impressive. I want to speak of both April and yourself in terms of what you've observed about the Jamaican music industry, let's say for the last 10 years. But tell us about some of the names you have under your belt, because clearly you're there because of your successes. You've seen a lot. Tell us about it.
Well, presently now I'm managing Lali for the last 3 years.
Lali.
Vice Mill for the longest while, Makian, and the whole team coalition artists. What was the question again?
Your observations for the last, let's say, 10, 20 years. What has changed? What needs to be done?
A lot of things change, man. Artists get a little more sense now than the artists than before. There are some brighter artists now come through. So a lot of things.
Qualify the term sense.
Them have access to read, them will actually ask questions. It's not just talent them depend on now. These younger artists, they want to do it as a business. Some of them still just want to make a money and get some girls. But the artists, it's a comment, a shape, man.
Everything's on Google now. Yeah. Everything's on Google.
Everything is on YouTube and Google, and they're asking around.
What do you think changed between then and now? What do you think made the newer artists more sensible or kind of open
not
to...
dissing the old artists.
No, we're not at all.
So
but there seems to be more business.
What happened,
mind.
because in life you live, the cheapest mistake is the next man's mistake. So if you say artists used to make money in the 80s and now in the 2000s and you choose not to, you want to know why this artist don't benefit after the hype, after the fame. So these younger people coming through, them trying to do things different. So that's why probably I can say they take a different approach. They want to know how to earn after the stage.
After the, I like that, after the stage.
Yeah.
April, same question to you. What have you seen has changed? What has changed last 10 years with artist management, with artists specifically in terms of their development and management?
I see where our industry has taken flight quickly, and our artists have had no choice but to try to adjust. It is more along the lines of trying to accommodate foreign experiences, like tapping into social media, TikTok, you know, things that they weren't used to doing before or wanted to do before because it was deemed as too much exposure back then. They're definitely open to doing it now because the world of music has changed. We're no longer buying CDs and records. We're all about streams and numbers.
They see themselves as a brand now.
Exactly. We're also in a space where, thankfully, artists understand that outside of having the name Bella Blair, she is a brand. She has more than just her musical or her vocal talent to her. Her image is also a part of her brand. That has now become a part of her business. Yeah. So I'm happy to see that over the years, the minds have opened. What I have not seen yet is 100% acceptance of the activity that needs to follow once your mind has opened. What and those activities are? The activity is acquiring the necessary information and knowledge to get it to where it needs to be. Lex mentioned team as well. That's a very important thing.
Sometimes it's where the artists at the before they can actually afford some of these things. Team. But as Bella Blair said, the Google, they are doing them thing. But what I learned when we see with them now, they are calling around, they're searching, they're going to the seminars, they're asking, them are looking for information. So soon as them can afford, I think these younger ones will put it together.
Lex, in your element, where do you find yourself? Looking for the information, seeing yourself as a brand, or is it just about, I want to get this music out?
It's really all of them. Because the reality is, to get the music out and build a brand, it's the same journey. Because artist development isn't one piece by one piece. It's kind of an all-together thing. So when you buy artist development, it's like a bundle, you know? So you're buying the music work, You're buying the distribution knowledge, you're buying the copyright information knowledge, you're buying the managerial knowledge. It's an all-in-one thing. So it's not an expectation of one is going to come and then the other is going to come and the music going to come and then the knowledge going to come. It's the process of saying that all of these things are happening all at once. It's just to ensure that you're collecting all of this information, ensuring to live through this entire experience, not leaving out one and just focusing on the other.
A bundle.
Yeah.
I'd like to add to that too. Whilst we can also see it as a bundle, we should try to look at it as a one-on-one experience. There is more reward in a one-on-one experience than generalizing artist development. Every artist or every creative that enters that space is a product in itself, and each of them need to be creatively nurtured in the respective way that they are heading in. So the goal plans that Bella may have for the next 3 to 5 years is not necessarily the same goal plans that Lex may have for the next 3 to 5 years. The territories that they want to market their music to, the brand that they want to stand out and represent, it's not necessarily the same. So it's important to identify too in artist development that the one-on-one experience in it is more rewarding than to sit in a generalized conference that just literally just surfaces the topics.
Bella, in terms of artist management, in terms of everything that was just discussed, have you ever found yourself at a time when it was just overwhelming?
Well, I can say that I've managed myself for 6 years. At the start, okay, little backstory for the viewers who don't really know my journey. I started my entertainment journey in 2010, where I entered Digicel Rising Stars and I came 5th, right? After that, I toured with Tony Rebel and Queen Ifrica all over Europe, doing reggae shows as a background vocalist, right? Shortly thereafter, I started my YouTube journey in university. My mom was like, hey, you have to go to school. So I was like, okay, let me do the most fun thing at school, where I studied media, as you said in my bio. And while studying media, we were learning how to edit and put videos together, because that was a part of the program, and I specialized in television. So all of this right here is not new to me. But when I was learning editing, I decided to, put a little video together. And because I was so heavily involved in the performing arts growing up from 4, as he said, I put together a little skit, a comedic skit, and put it on YouTube. Now, them times, this was 2011, YouTube wasn't as popular as it is now. So I was probably one of the few Jamaicans putting out content on YouTube for entertainment. And then I put it out, people started gravitating towards that content, and I gained popularity from that. Now, me no know nothing about how to manage nothing, for control anything. So because I was in school, it wasn't really that serious at the time. 2013, graduated from university, and now I'm in the big, broad world by myself. I don't know anything about management. I don't know anything about entertainment, the whole scope. I was really just left to my devices, and I had to learn a lot. I had a manager because that person was my friend, not because the person saw my talent and said, hey, I want to manage you. So it was really it wasn't a strict relationship. It wasn't really business-like. It was more, of a friendly relationship, or my friend helping me out, or my friend helping me to get to certain places, because he was already an established manager. But after that relationship ended, I now had to start operating on my own, managing myself, and just operating in the business space as an artist. That taught me a lot, and I realized that doing management and being an artist is very overwhelming, right? It really takes strength to do what I did. And especially when I decided to stop doing comedy, the thing I got notoriety for, the thing I got popular for, because it was just not good for my mental health. It was making me sad, and it was actually giving me like suicidal thoughts. I don't really want to get into that.
That's fine.
But I decided to stop comedy cold turkey, and just dive into music. With my first track, that was Jamaica. It's called Jamaica. And I was managing myself then. And David Rodigan from BBC heard the track, and he was like, no, I need to play this. All this time, me don't know where I'm going, right? And he was playing it on BBC One Extra for weeks and weeks and weeks until it came to #1. When I got the call that he and his team was coming to Jamaica, and they wanted to feature me on their, they have a live event, a recorded live event, BBC One Extra, that they record live performances at Big Yard. When I got the call, I was like, wait, me? I was managing myself at the time, and when I got the call, I realized that taking that plunge, taking that step, even though it was overwhelming, was rewarding. So to answer your question, yes, it gets overwhelming, but I had to do what I had to do, personally speaking. And now, April is actually managing my career. I see where it's a little bit easier. There's a little bit ease. I can focus more on my art and my craft, and I don't have to put a lot of energy into the artist management part of it.
Frankie, if you as a manager, developer, whatever term where you are now in control, when you see your talent getting overwhelmed, how do you then approach that?
In my team, they call me the father, you know, because come like all the artists, they come to you with personal problems, them come to you with them goals, them come to you with every single thing. You as a manager, you have to figure how you can make the artist be an artist. As Bella Blair said, you want the artist to create, you want the artist to look good, you want the artist to be on time. So what we do as a manager, we can create that space to make sure the artist can be an artist. So that is how the artist gonna know how good you are as a manager.
So you're judged by that.
So yes, Bella Blair, you have this interview. Bella Blair, you have this. You give them a structure, a system. If you keep on doing it as Bella Blair said, as a friend thing, or when the phone ring, or when it happen, you probably look like you're damaging that space, because as a manager, sometimes you have to, the marketing plan for them for the 6 months, what you're working on, project, all of these things. So that's why you become the father. You become the just father. Like you're not, just like Bella Blair said, like a child. You have to put the uniform, you have to put this, everything together.
The structure.
And then you go back down when the more the artists earn, the more the artists reach, you expand and have other needs. So you just tell people what to do.
I wanted to ask Lex, how would you manage a situation or advise another up-and-coming artist if you're having personal disagreements with your manager? Or just knocking heads because creatives are different. How do you, if you have personal, you have professional disagreements, how do you manage somebody who represents your manager, somebody who's about your development, having difference of opinion? How do you manage that?
Is it better for the brand, or is it better for me, the individual? Because the reality is, as an artist, you represent a product. And you should not mix the personal with the professional. That's the first thing. You can't come into the industry with your feelings all the time. Remember, as a creative, you're drawing from it to create, but your business manager, your artist manager is looking out for the brand, looking out for the best for your longevity as an artist. You need that support. So the personal feelings, the personal disagreements that you might have, is it personal or is it professional? Because if it's personal, that doesn't belong in the space.
If you're an artist, though, you're coming from you, the
I
personal.
agree.
How do you navigate those waters? Because if you think it's best for your brand because you're the talent, you're the artist.
It takes some personal development.
Take some, okay.
It does take some personal development. And I mean, with experiences, it might come. So it's not like a one night thing, you're just going to get over your personal differences. It will take time.
One of the things about managing an artist, you have to create the first level of creative, the first level of working with an artist, they have to trust you. And then and when them trust you to deliver, sometimes even if it gets personal to them, because you have to make manager's decision and it don't care if it how him feel.
If it's an unpopular decision.
Yeah. So when the trust creates, they will upset, but they'll get it done.
April, do boundaries are a big part of trust?
I would say so for the rest of the industry, yes. Here at Niche, no, not necessarily.
No boundaries?
Not necessarily. The foundation that we initiate when we have the opportunity to work alongside a creative is to first understand the creative, and by extension to let the creative understand us and what we represent. Working for a creative or working alongside a creative is, as Bella said, a very big job. The responsibility is high, and so you have to be very mindful of who it is that you're representing and why you're doing so. If you're unable to fulfill the desire of that particular talent or creative, then you really should step back as a professional and find someone or point them in the direction of someone that can. So it's a mixed response from me. Boundaries create themselves if the basis of the relationship or the business relationship and that foundation is secure.
I like the song. We're going to talk some more after the break. We'll be back with the Artist Development Blueprint here at JaRIA's Reggae Open University.
This is a hot girl thing. Ooh, yeah, yeah. I said we're hot forever. Think I know we're hot, we're born at no. Think it a go stop, it not stop. Hot, we're hot forever. Check. Bella B, when hot girls step out, don't have to ask when the hot girl step out. You see me as I step into the room. Them see me and them start to bring my womb. Boy, hot girl do things, hot girl do things. Hot girl no beg pan me for what they bring. The gentlemen they wanna take me home. Ladies them I wish them I'm a clone. My whole family hot, you better know that. Don't to my granny competing with the sun. When I rate you, some of your feet the number one. When I rate you, so you are feet. Please understand that you are not on my level. I make the devil uncomfortable. I'm so hot, all eyes on me. I'm so hot and so sexy. Hot girl something. This is a hot girl thing. I'm sorry you wouldn't understand. You wouldn't understand. Hot girl something. This is a hot girl thing. I'm sorry you wouldn't understand. You wouldn't understand.
All right, welcome back. This is Artist Development, a Blueprint, JaRIA's Reggae Open University. This is the third staging. The conversation has been going very well. You gave us, Bella, your backstory earlier. But now I want you to, I get the feeling it's a varied backstory. Yes. But I want you to tell us about how you zone in for a live performance. What happens night before, week before, rehearsals, and then the performance? What's your process?
Rehearsals are extremely important to me because you know, growing up in the arts. I've been doing the performing arts from I was 4, entering JCDC festivals, entering competitions, performing on stage. So I'm no stranger to the stage. I don't really get nervous. The only time I get nervous is when I have to do public speaking. which
is a little weird, but okay.
Which is a little weird. It's probably a mental block, but I don't really get nervous for performances because I've been trained in the performing arts for so long. But preparation, rehearsals are extremely important. So I don't need a one rehearsal. I know a lot of artists, a lot of established artists where the band performs for 3 times out of the week for a show they have on the weekend, and they show up on the last rehearsal, and them sing through 1 time or sing through 2 times and then perform on Saturday. That's a no-no for me. I have to have rehearsals, and I have to have a lot of rehearsals because I really believe that practice makes perfect. To get in the zone,
That's your getting in the zone.
He's so lost
I'm
right now, but the
completely
rest of the panel gets it right, Frank?
Well, let's just say I'm lost.
No, but to get in the zone, it's personal, you know. I put myself in that space. The artist me is very different from personal me. I'm kind of boring. I'm a homebody. I have my husband and kid back home. You know, I don't even watch TV. I read books. I'm what people would call boring in real life, but my entertainment me, different. It's kind of like, I don't want to say an ego, because I don't really like that word, but I take on a different persona. So I get in the vibe with and I don't lose logic whenever I get in the vibe. I am focused, and I know what I have to do, and I depend on what I did in rehearsal.
So you lean back against the practice.
Yes, the practice is important because when you practice enough, it becomes a part of you.
No.
We're humans, and sometimes you'll have maybe a hiccup during a performance. What would you say to artists who are terrified of embarrassing themselves on stage?
You don't practice enough. You don't practice enough. If you have a hiccup on stage and you practice enough, you can pick up right after.
Easy one too.
Yeah.
It doesn't need to even be noticed that you had a hiccup.
Yeah.
Unless you make it noticed.
Exactly.
You know how much time that happens to artists and they become a style?
Oh, you purposely.
No, it's never it's an accident, so it can be purpose.
So no, it's a thing.
Yeah,
The show goes
it
on.
just make it look and it become and it was cool.
And the artists know that. It's kind of like an unwritten rule that if something happens, the show go on. So if something happens and the show can't go on for you, then you're not really seasoned. You need more practice, you need more rehearsal before you come out on the stage. You're not ready.
Lex, when you are performing, if you have had a hiccup or a hiccup happens, what's your plan of action?
Hiccup. The reality is, you know, you're here to see me, the artist, right? And whatever I am doing on the stage is the show. And hiccup per se might be miss lyric. You're not going to know that unless I really stop the entire song, say, band, stop, I missed this lyric, let's go back, let's run over the track. Because the reality is that we're all performing. And the art of performance dictates that, yes, the show will go on, but you don't have to make audience know. You are here to give them the show. And I mean, I've been doing this for a good while, because the reality is I've been singing for, I don't want to give my age, but I've been singing for quite some time, JCDC, while at Arden, and that journey of moving from the school stage, the JCDC stage, into live performances, maybe at weddings and different shows, and then actually becoming an artist in 2020, because I needed to find an outlet for the music that is coming through me. In 2020, I lost my mom. And that is why Lex MD, the musical doctor, is providing lyrical and melodic music medicine. Because I couldn't, fix her problem. I could only sing to her. And these melodies are what I would use to ease her pain. And I think that the music that I can create is means to ease the pain of others you know, fix social problems. Just provide a bridge to gaps that exist in society that can be filled with music. Music is a language, you know,
Yes, it
and
is.
we all speak it. So once we can translate the music into medicine, Lex MD has a job.
Tell us about your start.
The start for me was an intentional move to say, I am an artist. So it's not, I'm gonna do this in the future. I'm starting this right now. And the start was the song Humanity, brought up through the George Floyd incident.
Okay.
And I Can't Breathe was the intention of the song. And the more I wrote about it, the more I heard about it, the visuals, the individuals speaking on it on social media, it just made it difficult to not want to put out this song. So while working with Divad, producer on the track, I had to ensure that this song had intention and was going to be released, because can you really produce without really releasing the song? Because you can write 100 songs. But as an artist, your intention, your purpose is to release this music so that the public can hear it. And accept it or not, the music will reach somebody. And once it reaches somebody, you'll have done your job. So I am on the journey of artist development since 2020, and writing, creating, making industry links. Went to an artist development session actually 2 weeks ago with April. And there I got a taste of what artist development is intended for. So that helped me to gauge where I am right now and the steps that I would need to take in order to move forward, to progress as an artist.
April, in a session that you run with Lex, what is the most important thing you tell them coming out of that session? Most important thing for them to remember?
The same thing I tell them coming out is the same thing I tell them going in. Be honest with yourself.
Authenticity.
Authenticity is key. Once you have identified that and once you've honed it, the stage is literally a playground for you. It's just how you want to,
Authenticity. Bella, what's the most important thing for you?
Just that.
Just that. Same
Just
thing.
that, the same thing. It's important to be yourself, because the moment you're not, the audience can sense it. That the very moment you're not yourself, the audience can sense it, and then there's a disconnect. No, but it's hard, very hard to connect to an artist who is giving off something that's not them.
Frankie, before we go to the break.
I always tell my artists, the only thing that never get done yet is being you, because only one of you. So just go out there and be yourself and put the best of you each time, and you will get some results.
And at a moment when you find yourself almost...
Are basically, I don't want to say martyrs, but you get the whole, we have to sacrifice our personal self to give to an audience, an artist, to give art, to give entertainment to an artist, and that takes a lot. That takes a lot on the psyche, that takes a lot on your mental health, that takes a lot. So sometimes it gets crazy and you want to drive to somewhere and scream, and sometimes you have to do that and then just whop it back. Remember who you are.
Remember who you are. Authentic, going back to authenticity.
Right.
Lex, that moment when you're about to burst a blood vessel, how you come back?
Remember the vision, remember the mission, remember the intention of the reason why you started this journey. If it's riches, then remember, say you're not rich yet. But if you have a message to share, if you have the intentions behind the words, if you have not yet achieved the message that you'd like to reach in every corner or every crevice that you want to reach, you still have work to do. Because this is work. And if you're going to give up on work, you're giving up on a livelihood. You're giving up on a lifestyle and a mission, a dream. Just remember it. And that's what I do. I just try to remember the dream, remember why I started this, remember the journey, remember my mother's words, and keep it going. Keep it going.
Thank you very much. All right, we're going to head to a short break, and then we're going to get a little bit deeper, because I want to talk some more about dealing with an artist who is just getting there, has his own intentions of what he or she wants, and you know as managers are the person who in charge of their development, honing that skill. All right, we'll be right back.
JaRIA Reggae Wednesdays, make some noise for yourselves. You see, because we need more live show for reggae music. All them a talk about reggae dead. No good music now make foolishness. Nice them a make. We just not get enough platform. So big respect to JaRIA and everybody who came together to organize this event and the rest of the event them and thing. But and then when they had them, yo, no forward a show and full up venue and make artists feel good, like say we do some good works, you know, cause we love you know. Yeah, man, if you don't believe in that, say love. Love! Okay. Get it right, set it right, we're here to have a good time tonight, yeah. If you know that tune, a big tune, say big tune. Go on, King, man. I want it. That me a talk about, man. Oh, la, la, na, 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 na. Yeah, already know. Take me somewhere wonderful. So tired of being misunderstood. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. I keep on doing all the good. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Cause life always works out as it should. Remember that? I said for so long, we are hold on. I lucky things that we so strong. She said them so gone, for them program. We have a different slogan. So when me do, me try the right road. Surround myself with the right folks. The ones who always keeping eye close. The kind of love them can't fight. Jackie by the clarity, we only want what is best for humanity. Me nah beg no charity right now, man, only want the opportunity. That's all it is truthfully. Give I were due to me. So when the music hits the right place and I'm in the right, take me somewhere wonderful. So tired of being misunderstood. Uncle Colin.
All right, welcome back to JaRIA's Artist Development, a blueprint. It's the third staging in the Reggae Open University, and we've had some amazing conversations so far coming from both the artist and the development/management point of view. So we're going to go into rapid fire. So I'm going to ask all of you the same question, and we're going to give some nice quick answers. Are there any specific challenges that you face in today's music industry, and how can artist development fix those challenges? Start with Bella.
The main issue I face is being a Jamaican artist, not necessarily doing dancehall reggae, treading in my own lane, coming with a difference in the genre because of my mantra. Artist development, I don't think that's quite geared towards fixing that problem. That's more of a consumer problem, just the entertainment space problem. Okay. So I don't know. I can't
That's fine.
say.
That's fine. Thank you, Frankie.
Question.
All right, so
That's listening to better.
you're on the development management side of it. What's the biggest problem you see now?
Biggest problem is everybody wants to do some things that I don't think is. I do one size don't fit all. You know what I'm saying?
You said that.
And now we're in a spot where an artist come and him see Better Blade doing it and come to me and want me to do it for him. Sometimes it's not that way. So I just say the education part of it,
Hence
the
the
reasoning
development,
part of it, the understanding part of it is the most challenging. But I don't
You're
feel
knocking heads with what they'd like to do versus what, in your expert opinion, you'd be like, you might be better off in this lane.
Well, from a manager point of view still, a lot of people call me every day want me to manage them. But I have to look on the product and see if I can manage that product. So if I see that I can manage that product, I'm not going to manage the product.
Do it.
So I'm going to have less challenge with my team because I choose who I want to manage.
From
Not
the
them
start.
choose me.
Yeah. Okay. April, same question.
The
Biggest problem?
biggest problem, well, from the from the business side of it, the biggest problem is that we don't have enough stalwarts in our business that carry the legacy, but also enforce the current infrastructure that we need to support our young creatives. That for me is a very big problem. They can't produce if they don't have the platforms to do so. We need more live shows. We need more opportunities. It's sad that our artists can only be booked on a majority of 10 large stages in one island in a year, when they can have a pool of thousands of stages when they travel to the US or to the Europe markets. We have the resources, we have the talent.
Is it the stalwart's job to carry on the legacy?
It is the stalwart's job to enforce their legacy, and their legacy is about growth, else we wouldn't be here. So I'm not saying that it's their responsibility to fund it per se, but I do believe that they have the power that we require to support and to be supported in, that we can actually move as one nation and actually make a difference. Like, we have more resources than we realize. I believe that Jamaica is wasting its resources in our creatives.
Amen.
Lex, same question. Biggest challenge for you on the artist side?
Well, starting out was an interesting decision because it wasn't a fully supported journey to be taken by maybe peers or family. So I think what we might need to start doing is exposing the wider public to the true benefits of investing in our youth and in the industry for it to grow. Let them know how valuable the creative industry really is at a parental or community level. Because most of our children or young adults, adolescents in high school will be headed into IT or ICT industries because that's where the world is headed. But creativity has never left Earth. Creativity has never left Jamaica. So telling somebody who has been writing poems or songs for 5 years to, oh, take up your book and go turn a teacher, go turn a lawyer, go find yourself into a surgery room.
Limits creativity.
It's creating limits, glass ceilings that require breaking. So once we can provide that education, I believe the majority of our problems might be solved.
Thank you very much. I love those answers. I want to start with you, since we ended with you. In your opinion, what role does mentorship play in artist development? And how can experienced artists or stalwarts and professionals contribute to it?
That's the key, man. That's the key. If you have a solid mentor, your journey in the industry will be beautiful. I believe that if you can connect yourself with the experience of 10 men from one person, and you want to be in that same field, that one connection will collectively carry you as far as you would like to go. That mentorship process is what you want. And once you're able to get it, I believe you'll be fine and function.
April? Mentorship.
I strongly support
As you
it.
said it
I
before,
strongly
yeah.
support it. I wouldn't be where I am today. Frankie wouldn't be where he was today without Bobby Digital. None of us would be here today if we didn't have an example ahead of us. In mentorship, though, I do believe, again, I go back to my stalwarts, that we need to extend our hands and help them up. We are often very closed-mouthed and closed-minded, and they need our knowledge and our experience to help them along the way. So I encourage that.
Yeah, as April said, I'm a young man in an old body, so mentor is everything to me, so Mikey Bennett,
Yes,
Robert Livingston, Kurt Bennett, all of these people are my mentor, and they've never left my side up until now. And I would always give gratitude for them. And that is a problem that sometimes people just want to feel appreciated too, Sometimes we help them and me help a lot and them never talk about it. But it never stopped me from helping somebody else.
Reach out that hand.
You understand what I mean? So I respect, I'm telling everybody to help who you can, help who want help, man. And the
That was willing
business
to be
need
helped.
help at
Yeah.
times.
Bella?
Mentorship is extremely important. My journey is a little bit unique in that, as I said, I managed myself for about 6 years. So I had to figure out a lot for myself. And reaching out, especially in the Jamaican music industry, is a little bit difficult because we tend to be cliquist and we tend to not be free to offer help to people who not in our camp or people who we're not investing in or who not with friend or who not drink with we or who not
Yeah.
smoke with we. It's almost impossible to get close to people who we would deem mentors because we are so cliquist, because we're so closed off, because everybody have their ego. And another thing is nobody wants the person who they're passing down knowledge to for pass them out or
Pass
do
them.
better than them. It's really a crab in a
Crab in a
barrel
barrel.
mentality.
Yep.
And I find that that contributes to a lot of issues that we have in the entertainment space because there are a lot of talents out there, and I feel like because them talent they're not willing for power with and not willing to do certain things where people who have less talent or no talent at all willing to do, then we have what you call a talent drain. So
Just like
The
a brain drain. It's
just like a brain drain. And it's kind of evident as well, to me, it's evident. But yeah, mentorship is extremely important because if you have people who do it and are successful at doing it, and they don't want to share the knowledge, like you have to figure it out by yourself or
It
you
ends
just
there.
don't know. Yeah,
So it's like you're going to make the mistake what them could have avoided from making.
Crab in a barrel, as you said sometimes. Frankie, have you personally had any challenges or buck-up limitations dealing with an industry professional over the entire course of your career? Have you ever had that one block from somebody who was in the industry? I mean, we're not going to call
Yeah,
names.
remember we're in a business where we don't really work as a team, you know. So, well, when one door closed for me, I just try and knock, I'll reach window two if it have to. I just wait, you know what I mean? Because
Patience.
sometimes you have to prove yourself. That is what they want you to do.
Oh,
You understand me?
okay.
I remember when we just started to do this, that me used to say I waste my money and, but, you know, they say everything that is bad, man. You understand me? And as I said, that is how important mentor is. I remember hearing Bobby Digital tell me his story, working for King Jammys as an engineer, losing him job, creating his own studio. And I see that and I said, okay, it never happened overnight because we all see the end result now. We never see the growth, you know.
No.
Facts.
We never see when
Final-
we
final
never see
show
the
is
tile
always-
put the tile up on the floor. We don't go and walk on the tile. You understand?
Very, I like that. I
So
like that.
the thing about it, hearing these experience, hearing people at a people journey, when them say no to me, I just try and go somewhere else. I'm always have a look. I have a ears of talent. That's how I better be. When I hear her the first time and I say, hey, I want to work with her until she just say, give me you know, one of my favorite songs up until now. You know, Conscience, Coffee, Ragamuffin. When you see them, you work with who I work with, because they establish one them now work with you because you what happen. Yo, you know, them have for them reason. And
Or
if-
money.
or money. You know, sometimes you don't have the money to give them to work with you. So you just find some great
Find somewhere
talent.
else. Mhm.
You go to the talent shows and you listen to somebody and you say, can try help this one. And we build together too.
Like any personal issues you've ever had, any barriers you've come across in your journey?
Well, any barriers that I would have come across would have been, I guess, lifted through education, you know, educating myself with information and connection, because I love to have conversations. If I see somebody in the place that I want to be, I have no issues going over to them and saying, hey, how are you? How are you doing? But I think I've seen you here. And then build that conversation, get some more information. And I think I'm a people person. So what I try to do is to be as amicable as I can with the individuals that I need information from. And once I get that information, I don't cut the link. Never cut your link. Don't burn the bridge. Don't burn the bridge. You need them because they will help you to cross.
True.
And I think being that type of individual in the industry has helped me to make connections and hold on to them. And this is authentically who I am. So I can't change that. So it's something that just comes. So no
real blockage.
No blockage for me right now. But life is dynamic. The industry is
Anything can
dynamic.
happen.
But the guidance that I will receive will allow me to move past any blockages, I'm sure.
Good. April? Wrote you like when the 7
no,
names in the intro a while ago.
There are many blockages. Thankfully, I have matriculated to recognize that what I used to see as blockages was actually arrogance and ignorance in my industry. And I chose to walk around it or to jump over it. I chose to, thanks to people like Frankie, who is my mentor, or one of my mentors, I should say.
Look at that.
No mentor.
Okay. But my voice of reason sometimes when I'm finding myself in a difficult...
On the shoulder.
Yeah, man. No, I'm not keep him on my shoulder, though, you know. I'm not keep him up there. But yeah, my voice of reason. When I face those difficult or challenging situations with challenging individuals, because of who I am, I acknowledge it for what it is. But in the struggle to find my space and to find my workaround, I just focus on me, and I focus on my drive and my dream and what I bring to this entertainment space, and what I want to be my message, my route, what I want to help Bella Blair, Rasai, Lex MD to accomplish, because at the end of the day, that is what brings me.
So you're not help me again?
I always help you, Frankie.
Okay.
But yeah, for me, it's not about the problems anymore. Like, I'm over that. I really
The problem will come.
There's
man.
always solutions to problems.
That's the solution.
Bella?
Oh, man, they're countless. Especially being female in the space, a female with morals in the space,
Yeah, man.
a female who is not just doing reggae or dancehall, a female who is just carving her own path. The issues, the problems are endless. I've heard a lot of no's. I've also heard a lot of no's because people believe I should be still doing one thing, you know, because I became popular for it. I'm just not allowed to change my mind or explore any of my other talents, which I do have. By
Stay in your lane.
But yeah, it's endless, but my back broad and tough.
That's right.
You know what I mean? I'm very resilient, and I have all these talents. I feel like I should be able to explore them. So while the blockages and the issues and the hurdles are endless, I go jump over them, I go around them, because that's just me.
And if you buck your toe,
Band-aid.
scrape up your knee,
Band-aid.
Band-Aid.
But sometimes the blockage will make the success feel sweeter. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
When
sometimes...
you know and you achieve it, it does feel nicer, man.
Come on, let's face it, we're humans. Yeah, I told you. I told you so feel good a little bit. don't
Even
you?
if you don't want to say it to the person, you know, you
Follow
just
them
look
know.
back
The
and you say,
achievement.
you know, everybody never be.
And sometimes I God.
It feel good.
Sometimes
Sometimes
God.
God just don't want
God
it
said
too
no.
easy, yeah.
Yeah, man.
No,
You're
not
part.
this.
Sometimes God just say, if you get it now, you're not going to appreciate it.
Yeah.
No, man.
Louder one day.
Or if you get it now,
Not yet.
you're not going to get what
Yeah.
I really have in
Yeah.
store for you.
Not yet.
Closing
Oh,
thoughts
yeah,
on
but the
that.
man who pray and say, man, the better job and the boss make him fire, and tomorrow morning he go work and cuss God and he go one bar and get a better job. I drink him sorrow away.
Look at that.
Nobody know what tomorrow is.
Nobody.
Just
And
continue
how-
believing in yourself.
We're going to head to another break very shortly, but before we go, I want one very quick thing. How do you tell a young artist, don't worry, it'll get better?
No, man.
Don't
Tell
tell
them
them
to work, man.
Don't tell them that.
Don't tell them that. I want to build up
Don't
them.
worry,
It has to get a little worse for
Worse
young artists
before.
before it gets better.
Yep.
That's
Agreed.
the truth.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
Agreed.
Yeah, man. But the worst is not always going to be generic, you know. But trust me.
It's
Man,
never
I
don't worry. It's
I will
always
say-
the
I will say,
cliche,
let's
don't
work
stop.
together.
Keep working.
Yeah.
Keep
Keep
And when it's
going.
rough, we'll go
Drive.
rough time
Keep
with them, and it's good, we'll go through good times with them. And I tell them, so don't worry. We
Keep
all have to
going.
worry, man.
I love that. That's kind of positivity I think we need.
Yeah, man.
All right, we're going to head to another break, or final break. I will come back and ask more about artist development before we wrap up tonight's session.
that you come to when you need someone. That's what my love is for. It's a shoulder to lean.
All right, welcome back to JaRIA's Reggae Open University. This is the third staging, and today we're talking about artist development, a blueprint. We have gotten some gems and then some from this wonderful panel. Thank you guys so much. We're going to talk about the evolution of artist development. Now, all four of you represent stakeholders in the music industry, from whichever side you fall on. And you all have spoken about how important artist management is. What would you do personally to improve and evolve artist development going forward?
That's a rough one because Jamaica music industry, the Jamaican people were very vibes based. So to get something on a more official level, for us to take things a little bit more seriously, and it's not just, oh, I'm about vibes and yeah man, I'm mash up the stage man because I vibes king, that's, you know. You understand? That's kind of the mentality when it comes down to just bringing across the art. I feel like it would be challenging, but what I would do is, and this is a heavy call on the government and the powers that be, especially for entertainment and culture, to have more like workshops, have more entertainment events that cater towards the knowledge of artist development. I don't know, it's really hard to come up with something that I think might work because, as I said, we're very vibes based. We're very relaxed. I think that's what people like about Jamaican people. So that would be like a very challenging thought for me. So I'll leave it up to April and Frankie and the people who would know more than me.
One other thing that I think the culture of a change, the way we think, the way we look at entertainment. And I was saying it to my friends the other day, Tyler Perry, that's what she named the girl will win, this girl win some Grammy the other day. And she Tyler, yeah. She come outside and she said, give it respect to my engineer. And she shared the platform with the engineer. And I said it to my friends, I never normally say artists do that to him team. And as I said, we use the word team, but them alone want to say me alone do all of this. When the engineer work with you late in the hours to put it together, your manager work when you're asleep, your manager do everything for you. Your roadie do everything for you. Your stylist do everything for you, you know? When we start to look upon it as a business and we show respect for every single person, your PR, your everybody, I think we get some more results. You know, the government can do all of them want to, but we have to see the importance of everybody and put people on the platform too. Not me alone, you know, but April who's coaching and who is telling you to do this. And maybe the younger one then will come up and see the importance of it and the culture will change.
Second nature.
Yeah, and even telling the artist, oh, you need some voice training. Because you cannot do it when you change from here to here, and then I said, no, but everybody else
do it
sound
so
good. Yeah, you hold the mic, you hug up the whole of the mic. And the mic cannot, your sound cannot go through the mic. Engineer stress out there so to catch a balance. So
and then you hear some artists blaming sound man, turn up my mic and
you know, simple things like that where give some credit to people who tell you small things.
Change your culture, change your mind.
None of my mentor never give me any money. I never get money from somebody in entertainment to do entertainment. But when I have a problem or when I'm still doing something, them tell me. And that's why I always have them on the highest flag. You know what I mean, sir?
So your suggestion is change your mindset.
Yeah, change your mindset, and everybody is a whole cake, man.
Not just one slice.
It's not one slice.
April?
I'm all for changing the mindset, but instead of waiting for the change of mindset, I've decided that I'm going to run with it. I've already started the process, and so has Frankie to some extent, actually. As of next month, we're offering artist development workshops. I will be reaching out to the individual, and I have already. No one has bite just yet, but nevertheless, we're going to push through, even if it's something that we will end up doing independently, and a couple years down the line here, somebody else come along and say they created that space, fine. But we want to make a difference wholeheartedly. It's not about money. There's very little money in developing artists. No. It's more investment than it is anything else.
Long-term vision.
You can't pay for that level of experience or knowledge or tactical training, honestly, you know. So people like myself and Frankie who do this daily, inside out, you know, for people. We don't do it because we want to get rich and switch and live a lavish lifestyle. We genuinely care about the creativity of this country. You know, so what I would do, I created Niche Entertainment Group, and I created artist development workshops, and I'm encouraging our young people to reach out and to help us to make a difference. It has to start somewhere.
And one of the next thing about the reaching out, sometimes an artist would DM me, I don't must see it. You send a message, I not have to get the message. Don't give up, man. Them give up too easy, man. And I can't remember every faces.
But that happens because of the experience that our history has taught us, you know. The history of our industry. Bella said it earlier, the cliquism and like, nobody don't want to share no information. Nobody don't want to do nothing. Them just want to cock up and, you understand? Like,
enjoy.
It's not healthy.
No.
It's not.
I
so
just want
find the right people, find the people who genuinely care.
Trying. If you think, when the first time I want to vice Bella Blay, I never vice. She never vice to me. I'm still vice her, don't Bella.
Lex, what's your contribution? How would you evolve artist management?
I believe I can be the best contribution. Me, Lex MD, the product. The example that is set by artists are normally followed. We have one of the most strong, I don't even know how to describe it, but one thing an artist can do, everybody else can do it. Because we are an example. We have a responsibility to show them that, yes, this works.
So you as the product and
Me
how
as
you
a product.
professionally deal with it is your contribution.
Professionally, artistically, on stage and behind the scenes, showing them that, yes, this work that you are doing is not just for the fun of it, not just because you're going tired, not just because you have a team behind you, it works. The end result will be perfect or close to.
Listen, you have people in the space, you know, that when you exude professionalism, it's not accepted in a positive light.
The first time.
Because I have heard comments like, so then I wish I going so far. When I say, okay, send me an email.
Listen.
Go on like you're nice.
Oh my word.
Go on like
But
you're
she going
nice.
so far. Like, yeah, the one Bella, she asked me for email her.
It's work all the same.
You know, it goes back to the friend thing, or may I have for vibes with you first. And that's all good as, you know, being an artist, and that's all good and stuff, but what happened to, okay, you want to work with me as a producer, you send your email, you send the splits, especially in the Jamaican industry.
Talk about the splits first.
Because you talk
Okay,
about you talk about the splits because you don't want to end up doing work for a producer or collaborative work with a label, and then at the end of the day, you don't know about your splits, you don't know about your royalty, and then you cuss and say you get robbed. That is on you. And that requires some
Not knowing
level
is
of
not an excuse.
no. That requires some level of artist development and some level of professionalism.
If you understand how Bella do business, you don't have a problem with Bella. If you understand how April do business, you don't have a problem.
Well, understand and accept.
Yeah, but
It's
you
two
just have
different
to
things.
just roll it out. You know, Frankie, hey, me want to see this. Make we talk about this before I spend my first dollar. Don't say me miserable and me bossy. Because is business.
And business is not personal.
And business is not personal.
True.
Our culture is very, as you said, bridging, man and man, what is a do a thing. How can you almost redirect the mind frames of some of the artists, not just young artists, even older artists, to see that it's not just because you can carry a tune that you can become Bella Blair or Lex MD. How do you convince somebody who might be stubborn thinking that they know exactly how they want to sound to try something different?
Well, if they're stubborn, then that's problem number one. I think we discussed that you have to be of the mindset that this is a business. This is not just a friend thing. So if it's that they need some convincing, then they're gonna have to learn the hard way. You know what I mean? People who go in a certain direction, and that's the direction of professionalism. They have an open mind. They think critically. They think a certain way. Even though you're an artist, it's a business entity, and you have to have these things done. So the stubborn people and the people who don't want to change, they're gonna have to learn. It's not a baby. It's not a babying thing. Being in the music industry is not a babying thing. It's not an easy thing. You have to have a certain mindset. You have to be strong, and you have to have your head and your body focused.
And you have to be fluid.
Fluid.
Because, as Lex was saying, life is dynamic.
Fluid, but not too fluid.
So stick to your guns.
Yeah, you can't be too fluid, because if you're too fluid, then everywhere is like, leave some mystery, leave something to the imagination. Operate in a way where, baga, because if you're too fluid, you're there, this a studio, you're there, this a studio, you're there, this a man, you're there, hang out because you want this opportunity. It just doesn't work out. And you can be a talented artist, and if you're too free and too pari, then you just get rinsed out and washed out, and nobody really has any respect for you as an artist.
And they might be thinking, I'm putting in the work. Y'all told me to put in work. I'm going to every part.
Yeah, and
going to every studio.
But being too fluid too is not good for creativity. Creativity is inspired by different spaces and places and times and things. True. So you as an artist need to identify what is for you and what is not for you. So that your creativity can also continue to flow. Because the day it's stopping.
Don't give away the horse.
I manage Lally, and I have times where every day I'm just one record, and the next time I don't want to record, So what we do, we make him record everything, and we can say, this nah. We kind of tear that. And if you're vice a producer, we send the splits. We talk about who producing it, because I know everything I got produced by Frankie.
True.
So you say, all right, this is it, masters, publishing, we send it through before we send the file to you, because that is why I'm paid for him. Him just want to be an artist.
He just want to be the passion. He's driven by the passion.
That's why I have a team where I'm saying, all right.
You do that, you do that.
But even easy, Frankie produced Give Me a Light, right? And before working with Frankie, I was recording another song, and I saw him in the studio, and he came into my session, and I was like, "Oh, Frankie," and he was like, "Yeah, man, you're a superstar." After that, we got on the phone, and we decided that we were gonna do some work. And then I went to his studio, and we feel out the energy, played some of my songs, we produced the track, and it was just good vibes. You know what I mean? After the fact. It don't have to be, we go down to Frankie, go all our vibes, and we go drink. Yeah. And then him decide, say, all our good vibes with Bella, let me produce a track with her. You understand? But it was still business and still good vibes and hang around, because I like to hang. I mean, who doesn't like to hang?
In our music space.
Yeah.
In our music, creative space.
Creative space.
We're going to do the wrap up. Final thoughts from Lex to artists in your position who need to know exactly how important artist development is. What's your personal message to them?
Be authentic and intentional about the journey. Artist development is all about connecting you, the individual artist, with the brand, and ensuring that your consumers are able to actually experience you. So don't be afraid of being uncomfortable during this period, because working with a team, if you're able to do so, is all about finding where these pieces fit so that that vision that you have, that dream that you perceive where you want to be, can be achieved. Don't be afraid of being uncomfortable.
Don't be afraid
It's
of being
necessary.
uncomfortable. April? Final thoughts. You're coming from the developer stage. What's your final thought?
My final thoughts are that I will continue to work assiduously in ensuring that artist development stays on top. It stays as a message, as a mantra. It stays as a protection and a holding space for young creatives, well, for general creatives. And I also want to clarify that artist development is not solely for artists. It is for creatives. So you can paint, you're a sculptor, you're a host, you're a DJ. It's not specific to artists, right? But yeah, I want to hone in on what it truly represents, and my one message is that I stand by it, and I will not drop the button on it.
Thank you. Frankie?
My advice to any creative person, the artist development is a guide. And if you need to improve on your weakness or improve on your strength, whatever way you want to choose it, I think taking an artist development course is one of the best things investment you should do. And that's it. It will show you every department, every area that you actually need to earn from your art. That's it.
I'm gonna be real with it. You need that. You need artist development, because I've seen a lot of artists where them don't know how to talk in an interview, and I don't mean standard English, because it's just how to answer a question, how to portray yourself as the artist who you want to be seen as. I've seen people go on interviews in sweatshirts and tights and slippers or just a sneakers and a t-shirt and thing. It's just like, put yourself together.
Absolutely.
And sometimes it takes somebody to tell you that, hey, listen, that's not working. You know what I mean? Because I've also had to learn that. As I said, I was fresh out of university doing things by myself. Somebody had to show me that, hey, listen, you have to put yourself in a certain way. When I go to the studio, I go to work. I dress up for that. I put on my makeup. I get in the mindset. And somebody had to tell me that I have to make sure I'm presentable. Make sure when you're in an interview, you're engaging. You just step back and say, yeah, you know, you don't know I want Bella. You know them vibes. You need that.
Yes, you do. Thank you very much, guys. An incredible panel. Thank you guys so much. You know, this kind of information is what's needed for artists, but we couldn't be doing this without the sponsors. So I'm just going to say thank you to all our wonderful sponsors: Chase Fund, Ray and Nephew, Urban Development Corporation, UDC, Ministry of Culture, Gender, Entertainment and Sport, VM Wealth Management Limited, the Jamaica Cultural Development Commission, JCDC, Music and Entertainment Factory, SpurOpen.com, Print Big, Juicy Parties, Sun City, Shorter, PBC Jamaica, Key Mix, So Creative, Phase 3, Yardbridge, Alternative Music, Rhythm FM, Best FM, SCRAM, and thank you guys so much. Bella, Frankie, April, Lex, wish you all the best.
Thank you for having me.
And that is us for the third staging of the Reggae Open University. Next week, we're going to be discussing at the same place, same time, critical health plans for musicians. Another very important topic, something people probably wouldn't even think about. So that's why
it's included in artist development.
Shameless plug for niche, yes. Thank you guys, and thank you for listening everywhere you are, guys. It's been a pleasure. Walk good.